Hello!
Hello.
What's up, everybody?
I hate football.
Isn't that how we started last week?
That's how I start every week because I fucking hate football.
CJ Stroud, baby.
My pick'ems are in shambles.
The
I
handsome
never
man.
saw that coming. Never saw it coming.
To be fair, at least in the brackets that we're doing in the Discord, nobody's like out. Everybody has
First round doesn't count.
everybody has between 2 picks right and 4 picks right out of 6 games. So, everybody's pretty close. Everybody's pretty close. For at least this round,
What the hell, Vikings?
Dude, talk about a freaking no-show. Wow. Like,
I was gonna say, I only really feel like there was 2 actual upsets this week, and I know one of them wasn't really an upset, but to me it was. It was the Vikings, the obvious one, and then the other one was the Chargers. Dude,
now,
I don't know, man.
I mean,
Where's those Texans been? Like the Texans look good. Where's that been? Where's it been? Are we seeing an opposite Dak Prescott and CJ Stroud? Someone who doesn't look super great throughout the entire season and then goes into the playoffs and is like, all right, dude, let's go out here and win this effing game.
I hesitate to say that the Chargers losing was an upset. I mean, Houston did good. I thought it was. I definitely thought that the Chargers were the obvious choice in that game, and they disappeared. That was kind of surprising. But when you look at I mean, they were at home. They were the the higher seed.
It was the fact that Justin Herbert, he quietly all season threw for 3 interceptions. One of 3 quarterbacks in history to have over 400 passing attempts and only 3 interceptions in a season. The other 2, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. But he went out there and just kind of, you never heard anybody all season like, dude, Justin Herbert's killing it. Justin Herbert's killing it. He kind of killed it this season. And then in 3 interceptions all season.
Yeah.
And he finished the game 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions. He threw more interceptions in 1 playoff game than he did all season.
That was definitely pretty crazy.
One of them wasn't his fault. One of them was a bobbled pass off of a wide receiver that should have been caught, hit him right in the hands, should have been caught, bounced right to the defender. But even then, dude, take that one away. He still actually threw 3 interceptions.
Dude, it's hard to call that a fluke because of how good of a season he had versus that game. I think the Texans defense is really that good, bro.
That was crazy, dude.
They stepped it the fuck up, dude, especially in the second half. It was insane.
That last interception of the game that closed it out, it looked like Herbert threw the ball to the defender. That's how well the defender played that. He caught it overhand like a freaking receiver, dude, right in his hands.
And I think we got to give props to Janu. He was the only person in all of the brackets in the Discord that picked Houston. So, I mean,
I don't know how, bro.
That's what I was like. I'm not necessarily saying that was a crazy upset. The Vikings game was the only real, wow.
I think most people thought it'd be a close
caught
game.
People off guard. I think probably 60-70% of the people out there probably actually thought that Houston was going to lose that game.
Oh, yeah, easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
I had faith there. I think he's really one of the quarterbacks that just plays well under pressure. And one of the things that they did that I didn't expect, obviously the defense was a big part of it, but what was really a big part of it is the play scheming, because they actually started passing the ball a lot more, throwing those deep passes, especially after the first half of the game when they were like, okay, we need to pick it up here. And they started chunking the ball more. And that's where, CJ Stroud's really good at. I feel like they've just been playing it safe because they got a good running back. And so that game, they finally found a balance of it. Hopefully that momentum goes into the next game too. And obviously the defense was just on fire. But for me, it's like I picked them because the Chargers, they've won a lot of games more than most people would think, and they clutched the playoffs. But a lot of those games, like when I was looking at them, they didn't really beat any of that notable teams. Like they may have had like 2 notable wins. They barely won. I don't remember who it was. I think it was like the Broncos and somebody else, but that was it. Everything else was like mediocre teams. So I don't know.
I stopped short of calling it an upset just because like this is the Houston team that I think a lot of us expected to see this season. And we knew they were capable of good things because of last year's playoffs. But other than that, yeah, I mean, like we really thought that the Chargers were going to come out strong in this game, and man, they just didn't do anything. It was crazy to see how lopsided it was.
Yeah. So Herbert looked horrible. He looked really bad.
I mean, it was one of the most lopsided games. I mean,
14 for 32. He didn't even have a 50% completion rating. 14 for 32, 242 yards, 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions. And like I pointed this out to in the Discord. Like, okay, so Ladd McConkey, 9 catches, 197 yards, 1 touchdown. The rest of the entire team had 45 yards and 5 catches.
Can I interrupt you for 1 second? Ladd McConkey just balled the fuck out in his first playoff game, and the Patriots traded down. That he was drafted in the spot that the Patriots traded down from to take Jalen Polk, who's basically handicapped.
Who?
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine Drake May and Ladd McConkey.
Exactly.
Imagine
that'd
that
be crazy, dude.
Yeah. So it was tough. It was
the
a tough
touchdown
watch.
catch too was ridiculous, man. That was an amazing touchdown grab. Like he actually
Dude,
was
the
a
guy's
great play.
filthy.
And yeah, but it's the second best receiver. 2 catches, 16 yards. 1 catch, 15 yards. 1 catch, 10 yards. 1 catch, 4 yards. That's it.
It
The
was
entire game.
Yeah, that entire game was definitely the
Even the rushing.
McConkey show.
They even had a total combined 16 rushes between their top 2 running backs for 48 yards combined.
There was nobody. I mean, it's almost
the
like
Houston D, dude. Oh my god!
I just want to
the
say
only person
this
they
too,
could shut down was McConkey. That was it.
before we switch off to the other games. There's only one man who can save us against the Chiefs 3-peat, and that's motherfucking CJ Stroud, dude.
CJ Stroud.
That's so hype, man. You remember those memes, Brock
Lord,
Purdy,
yes.
where it was like the edits of him, and they're like, there's one man who can save us. That's CJ Stroud right now, dude. We need the Texans to beat the Chiefs, bro, or it's going to be a 3-peat. So let's see it, bro. I wanted to say that before we move on, bro.
we'll
Anyone's got CJ Stroud edits, send them, because I got chills just thinking about them beating them.
we'll get to next week real soon.
Real soon. Listen, it's either going to be the Texans this week or it's going to be the Ravens next week. That'll beat the Chiefs, but one of them will.
Hey, don't tell anyone that. That was between me and you, Lobster. That's details between me and you. What I say when I'm watching football, I'm not thinking right, okay?
Those are private moments. Okay?
Yeah.
Well, we learned something new today.
Yeah, he's got a lot of private moments when he's watching football.
Mainly when I see CJ Stroud or CD Lamb playing. That's it.
That's hilarious, dude.
Yeesh.
After the Chargers massacre, we had the Ravens massacring the Steelers. There was some people, at least in the Discord, I don't know about on social media, that were like, just put in Justin's Fields. Like it was a very dominant game by the Ravens, which I think most people predicted, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'll say, hold on. Well, correction there. That was a very dominant game by Derrick Henry. Is what that was.
And
26 rushes, 186 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Like
Yeah,
Lamar
he had a-
Jackson too, 81 yards. Yeah, but Henry went the fuck off too.
wasn't this another game where Henry had close to, if not over 100 yards in the first half again?
Yeah, Henry went off, dude. He fucking killed it.
I mean, jeez. That guy's
Yeah,
unstoppable.
Yeah.
And like, at least to be fair with the Justin Fields thing, the Steelers didn't do great. But Russell Wilson, 20 of 29, 270 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He didn't do horrible passing.
He didn't play a bad game, honestly. He really didn't.
It's just one of those games where, man, the Ravens, that's what I've always said. It's because their offense was only able to put up 14 points. The way you have to beat the Ravens is, sadly, I've said the Ravens are going to win this game. They better prove me right. But the way to beat the Ravens is a team like the Bills, where you can have a quarterback who can scramble, but you can pass like a son of a bitch, dude. You can get it down the field on them, because you need to be able to score really quickly on offense to be able to beat the Ravens. The Ravens will
you got to
run
be able
the
to keep up.
shit out of the ball. They'll score every offensive drive, but they'll eat 8 minutes off the clock when they score. So you can't go out there then and spend 7-8 minutes and kick a field goal or score a touchdown. You have to go out there 2 or 3 minutes and score. Because the Ravens team, they do this all season long, every game to the fourth quarter. They're used to these long-ass drives on defense and offense. So you have to go out there and score quickly. And then their defense has to go right back off the field. Offense has to come right back on the field. Everybody on offense is tired. They're not going to score again. If you give them a chance to rest, they're going to go right back out there again. 7-8 minute long drive, score another touchdown. Like, you got to be a team like the Bills or the Chiefs or, the Bengals when they're playing well, shit like that.
Teams that can get that big chunk yardage.
Exactly,
play
those
after
big
play.
plays. Exactly. That's who you need. You need a Baker Mayfield out there playing against them. Like, that's the teams that can do some damage. Which is who they're playing against this week.
I don't remember. It might have been the Bills game that I was watching where they were driving the field and they got like 4 plays in a row that were all for first downs.
Yep.
And it was like, okay, there's another first down. It was the Bills game. Yeah. The Bills were just eating up the Broncos, man. And it was like first down, first down, first down. Yeah, that's what you need. Move the ball.
You need a team that can do that shit. Because the Ravens have a good defense, so when the offense can go out there and have a, like I said, 7-8 minute long drive and score a touchdown, and if you go out there and you don't score a touchdown, you only kick a field goal. Well, the Ravens offense is going to go out there and score a touchdown next drive. So now you're going to be down at least 4 points. Even if you score a touchdown, you're still down 4 points because you didn't score a touchdown that first time. What happens if you get held again? Because they do have a good defense. What happens if you get held again? Well, then the Ravens offense is going to go out there and score another touchdown. That's how they usually beat teams. They'll eat shit tons of clock and just keep scoring. And if you can't keep up and score even faster, you're going to lose. That's why they lost last year against the Chiefs. The Chiefs are one of those teams that can get those big-ass chunk plays. Doesn't matter if they're down 28-26 with 10 seconds left on the clock. Patrick Mahomes can go out there and get a 75-yard play for a touchdown. Like, he can do it. Has done it. We'll probably do it again.
Travis Kelce in a wheelchair, middle of the field, chunk play.
Right.
First down. Like, yeah, it'll happen.
Taylor Swift cooking up plays.
Exactly. He'll go out there not even close to the ball and get not even anywhere near a defender, and the ball will just like fall down on the ground incomplete, and you'll just see like 15 flags go flying. Pass interference, defense, spot foul, automatic first down.
Look, I'm not gonna lie.
Kansas City kicks a field goal and wins it.
This is a great week of football because I didn't have to listen to any conspiracy theories. Kansas City is on a bye, so we didn't have to listen to any bullshit.
Yep.
It happened though, man. You know what? It happened.
But you won't hear for the rest of the season because they'll be not playing.
Nope, they ain't going to be after this week.
That's right.
We'll get to next week in a minute. But yeah, Sunday, obviously, the Bills kicked off against the Broncos and immediately won 31-7. So not a lot to talk about there. I mean, did anybody pick the Broncos to win this one?
No.
Janu did.
I did. I thought
Did
that
you
they
really?
were gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that because the Broncos defense.
Yeah.
The Broncos defense is at least top 3. Like I thought that after all that, the Josh Allen thing was just gonna be over and they were gonna lose by like a field goal or something like that. But it's not like I thought that it was like a pick that everyone should have. I know that it's a crazy pick. I just was trying to get one up on everyone else.
No, it wasn't.
I can respect that. I suppose. I remember you talking about it last week during the podcast. I didn't think you were crazy enough to actually take the pick.
They actually, when they played against, the Bengals, the Broncos, when they played against the Bengals, the Chiefs, the Bills during the regular season, they did good. Like, they put up points, man. Like, they were going to beat the Chiefs. They were going to be the first team to beat the Chiefs this year, but they had a blocked field goal and lost the game. Like, there's some times, like, the Broncos are a good-looking fucking team.
And let's not forget, to Lobster's point here, they did look good for a minute. That 7 points they scored was the first touchdown of the game.
Yep.
And then the Bills said, no. And they scored 31 unanswered points.
Yep.
To win the game.
And, like, to be fair to that, too, I think it was more only because I'm one of those people that if I have to, I'll do it. And then something we'll talk about later, I don't have to. And I'm happy about that, even though I'm sad about it. But I'm happy to eat crow on this. I believed in Bo Nix. And Bo Nix walked out there that first drive and said, touchdown, we doing this, we winning this. Bo leave, baby! And then Bo Nix said, deuce, and left the stadium. That dude he wasn't in the stadium for the rest of the game. I don't know what the fuck happened to Bo Nix after that drive, but he left the stadium. He was gone. He disappeared for the rest of the game.
Dude,
he had
a
pretty damn good first drive, and he finished the game 144 yards, 1 touchdown.
I will say, like,
for 22.
He's a rookie, so it's expected for shit like that to happen, but I thought that it was going to be a closer game.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, dude.
That's what I thought. It would be like a real close game, but he would lose. Oh, God, no.
7, you're really wanting me to bet against the Bills, bro.
It was at this point that I was actually pretty disappointed in all 3 games so far because I was like, Chargers didn't show up, and that surprised a lot of people. Steelers, it was expected them to get blown out, but in the end, it was still kind of a one-sided game. And now we were looking at an absolute blowout by the Bills. And it's like, damn, these games suck. And then then we go to the NFC, and they were a little bit more entertaining. They were definitely a little bit more entertaining. Although, what happened to Jordan Love? He turned into a pumpkin.
Jordan Love happened, dude.
Yeah, more like Jordan-like.
Jordan Love turned into Jordan Love.
It's not the team we saw last year in the playoffs.
That's a good one, Jordan-like. That's fucking good. I like that. Oh shit.
Jordan with benefits.
Jordan more of a friend.
Somebody clip that.
Jordan
Oh my
acquaintance.
God. Somebody
That's
clip
great,
the last
dude.
30 seconds. I gotta
That's
put
what
that
we
on
saw,
the
bro.
TikTok.
Clip that.
I gotta put that on my TikTok before TikTok gets banned.
Oh my god. I like TikTok.
Yeah, Dobbs is like, yeah, I think we're better as friends. I think I'm gonna head out.
I'm gonna head
Dude,
out.
I will say Jordan
Yeah.
Love literally played like that, man. He through the season, right? Like, don't get me wrong, the last couple weeks, man, last 3 or 4 weeks, he hasn't really been throwing any interceptions. But there was a reason why.
And double to be fair, in this game, like all of his wide receivers fucking died.
Yeah.
So I mean,
But
he was throwing
there's a
no fucking
reason.
practice squatters.
The
Dobbs
entire
injury
season,
hurt.
though, he
Yeah.
freaking like, and again, yeah, that is credit for this game, but like, there's a reason why through the entire season, up until about 3 or 4 weeks ago, it was on Prize Picks. You know, they have the demons and the goblins. The goblins are the easy picks. The demons are the hard ones. Through, like I said, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, they finally changed it. But Jordan Love every week was a goblin on the 0.5 interceptions. Because it was almost a guaranteed every single week that he was gonna throw one interception. It's like, yeah, the last couple weeks he's been playing good, and he definitely made up for it. 0-3, like
Dude,
3 interceptions, no touchdowns. He made up for it in the playoffs, but
I always stay
I
away
wasn't that surprised.
from those bets on the Green Bay receivers. You know, Tucker is like pretty solid, but like with the receivers, it's always like different people every week. I swear that's getting the ball. Like sometimes Dow's will be on a hot streak, and then it'll be random game with Wicks, and then like another guy. It's like, yeah, he just passes to everybody. I'm surprised he didn't do better because he still have his star tight end and the backup that was popping off and Wicks that game. And he still had Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, I got lucky and I hit my under on Reed. I took Reed under 70.5, and he got 70 yards. Like that was a good game for him, though. That was a good game for him. I was nervous. I was sweating it.
Dude,
like, what the hell?
That was like the other week before the playoffs when I took the Marvin Mims over 80 yards and he got it. Man, he was getting like 15 yards every week. Like, knew that shit was going to happen, bro.
Yeah, they Green Bay disappointed me. I thought of all the games to be a quote unquote upset, I was like, this is the game. I mean, they balled out last year versus the Cowboys. The Eagles have always kind of low key been frauds in my mind, even with the addition of Saquon. And I'm like,
Jalen Hurts kind of sucked. They did good, sure. They won 22-10. Jalen Hurts kind of fucking sucked though, dude. 13 for 21, 131 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Dude, he has been sucking all year long over the passing.
Yeah, it's like, don't get me wrong, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, great. That's awesome. But dude, 131 yards in the entire game in the playoffs? Come on, bro. What are you doing? It's not like he rushed this shit on 36 yards rushing.
Yeah, I know he sucked because I have AJ Brown, bro.
And we took Saquon for a touchdown in the parlay. That was my pick, and he didn't hit.
I know.
You know,
25 carries, 119 yards, and no touchdowns.
No fucking touchdowns.
Yeah, that's.
I thought for sure they were gonna feed the fuck out of him because it's his first playoff game.
Yep. But, and with the season he had, man, that was like, dude, yeah, that's almost a for sure right there.
And honestly, I mean, 119 yards, not bad. It's not like he had a bad game. He just didn't get in the end zone, and I didn't feel like he was an impactful player. Like, I mean, 22 points. You know,
like, and so when you look at their stats, it's like, I don't know. You almost don't understand how they fucking put up 22 points with the yards and the everything that they had. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't a dominant performance, even though that they won by 12. Like, it just didn't. It felt like Green Bay had a chance to come back at any given time, but they just didn't do it. They like Philly won that game by default.
You could almost say they had a chance any given Sunday.
Time out. Billy Joe, did you hear about the one-armed fisherman? He caught a fish this big. All right, continue.
What does this have to do with football?
Hey, if we're doing those type of jokes, hey Billy Joe, what do you call a guy with no arms or no legs? Matt.
No, that's a man with no
guy
arms
laying
and
on
no
your
legs
doorstep.
laying on your doorstep.
Well, you can still call him Matt because he's gonna lay
What do you
down.
call people with no arms, no legs in the middle of the ocean?
Bob.
Bob.
All right.
Man with no arms and no legs hanging on your wall.
Art.
Art.
Where the one-legged waitress work.
IHOP.
What do you call a woman with no arms or one leg and one arm? Irene. And if she's Asian, you call him Eileen. Or no, wait, it's Eileen.
Oh, you buddy, come on.
It up.
You fumbled that worse than
God,
Wacko.
Jesus.
My bad.
You had one job. One job.
That went down the rabbit hole. Can we clip
that.
all that out? Can you clip it out? Like,
yo, Mods, can we ban this guy?
You're banned.
I thought there was a reason I had mod in here.
Okay. What game was next?
The Washington
only good game
game?
of the weekend, honestly.
The Washington
I knew
Buccaneers
Washington
game,
would win, dude. I fucking
Dude,
knew
the
it.
fourth quarter comeback by them. Oh my god, what a freaking game! And no shame to because I know they lost, right? But no shame to Baker Mayfield, man. Baker Mayfield playing out here with effing nobody to throw to, really. I mean, Mike Evans is back, but besides Mike Evans, it's like Dak Prescott. They're playing with only CeeDee Lamb. They know who to cover, and even then he still went off. But 15 for 18, 3 incompletions all game. Dude, come on, man.
Dude, another
you
rookie
tried.
quarterback winning
just,
in the playoffs.
It was just poor football overall. They had no excuse to lose that game. They were in it the whole time. A botched snap and a fucking damn it. Oh, why am I unfocused?
Oh, yeah.
Come on, Grasshopper.
There we go. But no, I mean that fumble was a joke. It shouldn't have happened. Unfortunately, you can't really blame one person. As much as I want to blame Bowles, I think Bowles is a symptom of the problem. I just don't think he's the guy. He's not the Bolt's the Bucs fan. He'll have a different opinion on this. I really think they need somebody who has a little bit more. And they're making chicken salad out of chicken shit with the fucked up defense, but at the same time, I don't know. They were just too in that game to lose it in the way they did. It was sloppy football at the end of the game. They should not have lost that way.
No, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, hard to say that you lose a game on one play per se, but one play can be a difference maker in how the tide of the game changes. And obviously, that was a huge one.
I mean, he had a pretty good game overall, and it really comes down to 2 or 3 plays, 2 on the offense, 1 on the defense. They the blown coverage that let Daniels rush for that first down, that basically sealed the game. They should have called a timeout. They should have done something, and he didn't. But the defense hasn't been there the last week or so, and now they're not there at all. So
that was
I had higher hopes for Tampa this season. I thought they were a real sleeper. But
I would agree with it. I don't know what happened to the defense in the fourth quarter, but Jaden Daniels all of a sudden in the fourth quarter understood what running was again. That dude did nothing for running all game, and 13 attempts, 36 yards, and what did 25 of those yards come in the last 2 drives of the game or something? That dude did nothing for running all game, and then he had a 20-yard run or some shit. Dude, come on, what happened to the defense there?
Yeah, honestly, I had some conversations offline with some folks, and I thought easily Tampa Bay was the second best team in the NFC. Like I really expected them to go much further, and it was really disappointed to see them kind of get squeaked out by Washington. Not that Washington doesn't have a good team. As a Cowboy fan, I
mean, Washington was 12-5. You can't discount it. I'm not discounting them.
No, not at all.
Yeah,
and I hate to admit it, but they have a solid. They have a bright future. They have a solid group right now, and they have a bright future. Dan Quinn has really turned around a historically terrible franchise in 1 year. And
but Dan Quinn did do one thing that I think a lot of people who've known Dan Quinn, or he did one thing that we all expected if you know Dan Quinn. Anybody else?
He's good with defenses, and he lost in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, like he's good with defense, man. Like the Redskins, man, he's been killing it with defenses all the time, and he's still doing that with the Redskins.
I think he's good because he did it with Dallas, and then he goes and he does it with Washington, and he's done it before with other defenses. Sure, he had that bad Super Bowl loss, but so what? It's not all on him. You can't always blame
the only reason he had that Super Bowl loss was because he went out there against Tom Brady, and he went out there and just passed it over and over. That was the offense that lost into that game. They ran no clock in that Super Bowl loss whatsoever, dude. Like no clock. They kept passing it. There was those freaking jokes on the commercials for years after with Marshawn Lynch and shit like that, where he's like, just give me it. I'll run it over there. They're like, nah, I got it. Watch. And then they throw it, and like whatever it was would break. He's like, you paying me to do it. Like I
Now that was more of a diss on that Seattle snafu though.
Well, either way, I just say like there's a long time, man, where dude, all they had to do was run the ball. But either way, the one thing that he's proven, no matter what, hey, he's got a badass offense with Jane Daniels, so kudos to him. But he runs a badass defense. He can do great things on defense. Whether he's a head coach or he's a defensive coordinator, that dude shines on defense.
The biggest thing, though, I mean, to me, Washington actually low-key already had a decent defense. Like, he took over he was in a good spot. If you're a fantasy football connoisseur, you already know that Washington actually had a good defense because they were scoring you decent points in fantasy. So like they have some players on defense that are not household names necessarily, but they get the job done. And so it's not a surprise that a good defensive coach went in there, made them that much better, and elevated the offense, because you know what elevates an offense the best is a good defense. I mean, it's no secret that when you have a good defense, your offense can take a break. They can get out there and make some plans and you know, they can be more successful. Like obviously both sides of the football complement each other very well in that regard as far as time on the field. So, but yeah, in fact, if I were to peg a team to go backwards next year, it'd probably be Washington, because I think they exceeded their expectations so much this year, going from where they were to what they did this year, to where I wouldn't be surprised if they actually take a little bit of a step back.
Yeah, I agree.
Year,
I
like
agree.
Houston did this year.
I agree.
So I agree, because Washington had a lot of things going for them this year. They had Dallas fall apart. They had Philadelphia got off to a very slow start, so they were able to kind of get a leg up. And I mean, they went 12-5. That's really good. But I don't think they have the same as if the division is going to get better. Like Philly's not going anywhere. It seems like they really figured it out with Sirianni, even though their quarterback and a bunch of players don't get along. Potentially the Giants get better if they draft a quarterback. I don't know.
Potentially. Yeah,
potentially. I don't think they
How do they get worse? How do they get worse?
That's true. Actually,
in the division alone, it's more difficult.
Correct that statement. Yeah, no matter what, the Giants next year will get better. So.
Yeah, this year they 100% take a quarterback first round, and I don't know what to think if they don't, because that's what they were supposed to do last year, and they delayed it for Neighbors. Now they really
So
have
they wanted Drake May. They wanted to trade up and take Drake May, and the Patriots said absolutely not. Because I have a friend that works at the Patriots, and he's well informed of these situations. For a long while leading up to the draft, Elliot Wolf, who is the ipso facto general manager here, he wanted to take Joe Alt. He was going to draft Joe Alt third overall because he felt as though Joe Alt was the best player in the draft. Joe Alt is fucking awesome. He's really good. I would have been pissed as a Patriots fan if they took him for a minute because of how good Drake May is. The Kraft basically stepped in, not quite last minute, but pretty close. So only a couple weeks leading up to the draft, right around the combine time, they said, "Hey, we need a quarterback. Absolutely, you need to take whoever shows up." Whether it was Drake May or Jaden Daniels, they were suiting JJ McCarthy for a while. I'm glad they went with Drake May because Drake May is him. But my point is the Giants wanted Drake May. They wanted to trade up for him, and the Patriots said no. So they took Neighbors, and honestly, that was the right move because now they can get whichever quarterback they want. Essentially, they're gonna have to trade for somebody. It looks like Tennessee's gonna need a quarterback, and we'll see how things go after the bowl games, after the playoffs, the combine, all that good stuff, and see how the draft changes around. I know most of you guys don't follow the draft super closely, but I think the first three are going to go quarterback. It's going to be Shooter, it's going to be Cam Ward, and then one of the other ones that they usually shoot up after the college season ends. For example, Drake May was originally mocking at a second round pick, but he shot up after the season he had at UNC.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely be paying attention to the first round drafts for sure because after talking about them a lot, I've kind of become familiar with some of those top 10, 15 guys. So it'll be interesting to see where each one of them goes. Definitely going to be a couple quarterbacks going the first couple picks.
There's some teams that are desperate for quarterbacks right now.
Now,
for sure.
I feel like Cam Ward should go first now. That's kind of off topic, but just based off stats, like it seems like he's had everything better than Shader. Obviously, Shader, made their season, Colorado or whatever, really good, and they haven't really had a good season in a long time or ever. I don't watch college, but it's an interesting topic.
I don't watch college, but I've been playing a crap ton of NCAA. And whenever you play NCAA, it's hard to not notice the names of the badasses. And whenever I play against say the Longhorns on NCAA, right? Well, their quarterback's like a 99 overall. You know what I mean? The average quarterback in college ain't that good. So looking at that, I'm like, oh, this dude's probably going to be one of those quarterbacks that are drafted top 5 or some shit like that. He's got to be. So I don't really.
You would think.
I don't really follow college football. I haven't in a long time. I'm only an NFL fan, but I at least will recognize names more now.
So he's mocking Quinn Ewers, right? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, Ewers.
Yeah,
the dude that's on the cover of NCAA.
He's mocking further down right now, but I have a feeling after how he's been doing in the college football playoffs over here, he's probably going to end up pushing up to the first round.
Well, didn't he no-show didn't he just get beat?
Yeah, but he still played pretty well.
Did he play well? Because I saw some memes that kind of led me to believe that he didn't play so well.
That's how the memes always go. But I mean, overall, he played okay.
Because I know they Texas lost.
He didn't do bad actually. Yeah, they lost 28-14 to I don't want to say
Ohio State.
Yeah, I don't want to say him. But anyway, he was 23 of 39, 283 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Yeah. Not horrible. 283, 2-1. 5 rushes for negative 18 yards. Those are sacks.
Yeah, that's tough.
I can't remember if it was Herbert, Bo Nix, or Darnold, but one of them was getting compared. They were somebody. The meme I saw was saying that they were that quarterback was doing an ears, so they were disappearing.
Yeah,
So
speaking of Sam Darnold, we should probably wrap out the week and talk.
Oh
about
yeah.
Oh yeah. Before
we do have that game.
Oh, that's right. And this is an NFL show, right?
So we talked a few episodes ago about the quarterback situation in Minnesota because they traded they picked up Danny Dimes off of waivers. So you had Sam Darnold, who was having a career year, basically a renaissance year for Sam Darnold. You had Danny Dimes, who is a NFL quarterback.
He was a big turd.
Bust.
Who knows? And then you have JJ McCarthy in waiting. So what were they going to do? I was one who thought they were going to extend. They were going to give Sam Darnold the Geno Smith treatment, and they were going to extend them. And Sam Darnold turned back into Sam Darnold. I guess the pumpkin. He turned back into a pumpkin at midnight.
The playoffs. The playoffs usually ding midnight.
He reinforced what a lot of people have been saying all along, that he's just a bridge. He's not the guy. I really think with how high the Vikings took JJ McCarthy, they're going to run it back with him.
Yep.
They're going to let Darnold go out and test the market, see how things go. Same with Danny Dimes. Hopefully they can retain one of them as the mentor. But yeah, absolute, what a joke. Or I would hate to be a Minnesota Vikings fan, man. Let me tell you.
That's what I was saying, man. There's no way that they don't take him that high in the draft, and then they're just like, you can be a backup your second year.
Minnesota,
no matter what, they'd start him.
Won 14 games in the regular season. They only lost to 2 teams all year, including the playoffs.
First team in history to do that.
And they did not even make the divisional round.
Yep.
Like,
they were not only the first team to go
look
14
at that weird ass
and not win their division, but the first team in NFL history to make it to the playoffs, right? Go 14 wins of the season, make it to the playoffs, and lose, but still only lose to 2 teams in the entire season.
Mm-hmm.
From first game of the season to the playoffs, they only lost to LA and the Lions. That's crazy, dude.
I'm seriously. I posted this in the Discord, and I stand by it. Like, I thought being a Cowboys fan nowadays was tough. Can you imagine? Like, and this is another. By the way, it's a team that is 0-4 in the Super Bowl. You know, like Minnesota is one of those teams that's like they have got to be cursed. They've got to be. What is the explanation for how bad they end up every freaking year, no matter how good they do?
Maybe they have like a Babe Ruth thing going on.
That's what I mean. Like it's got to be supernatural. Like there's no explanation. They won 14. They won 14 freaking games, and they didn't even win their division.
Just wait for it, dude. Just wait for it, because you know it's gonna happen, right? You're going to go out there this week, and the Lions are going to lose to the Commanders.
Dog, if the Lions lose to the Commanders, it's over. Like, the Commanders are winning.
Tell me it ain't been that kind of season.
See,
I personally, go out there and win against the Lions.
Like my gut is telling me that the Lions are going to hang 50 on the Commanders, but like my gut has been wrong all fucking season. So I don't know. They might win this game.
It's one of those games, man, where you look at it and you're like, I mean, it's crazy enough. It might happen. Jayden Daniels, the rookie, let's see him go to the fucking Super Bowl, dude.
I just feel like the Lions, like, especially after last year and not making it to the Super Bowl and everything, their team just has so much chemistry together. You know, like, I just feel like this year's got to be their year. It's hard to pick against them, man. The Lions are just, in my opinion, I feel like they're the best team in the NFL.
They are.
And
until the Chiefs
it's hard to
until the Chiefs are eliminated, they're winning the Super Bowl. That's what it comes down to.
Well,
I love that you keep saying that.
They might
There's
be
only
eliminated
one
literally
in the
every-
Super Bowl,
Every
but
team in the NFL.
you're right. You're right.
Until they're eliminated, they're gonna win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but it's different when it's the Chiefs. All right, it's like the Cowboys in the '90s.
it's
and
not like the Chiefs haven't lost Super Bowls before.
2010s. Until they're eliminated, they're winning the Super Bowl.
Well,
Yeah.
to me, I think it's going to end up being with the Lions. I love their story. I would love for them to win. I think it's awesome, this and that. I think the same thing's going to happen to Lions that happens to them every year. By next season, we're going to be saying, damn, that sucks what happened to Lions last year. They were so good. Sucks that they lost in the playoffs again.
That'd be heartbreaking,
That's
dude.
what we're going to say. Not
I
even
don't
in the
know.
Super Bowl,
I think
playoffs.
this
I don't
year's-
think they'll make it
I
to the
think this
Super
year's
Bowl.
Lions is way different than last year's Lions.
I don't
But
think they're
every
that much
year
different.
is-
I just
I
think
think
they're
they
that
are.
much. I just think they're better.
That's what I mean. They're better.
I
think
think
they
they're
were-
better. I still
They were
don't
good
think they
enough
have
last
for 'em.
year.
They have.
They're better
So-
this year.
They're
Yeah,
way better.
all the
This
same weapons.
year. They got a taste of it last year, but it was just out of reach. They're primed for it this year. You know what I mean? It's gonna really suck when they lose to the fucking Chiefs. That's what it comes down to. But they're in the end. You know what I mean? Like,
I tell you what, though, I'm not gonna lie. After watching the Ravens dominate the Steelers the way that they did, my pipe dream or my number one wish for the Super Bowl after the Cowboys were eliminated was a Bills Lions Super Bowl, and I had maintained that I thought that was what was going to happen. I think I'm wrong. And I think it's going to end up being the Ravens. I think the Ravens are going to the Super Bowl this year.
I want them to.
I think they're going to.
I hate the Bills because fuck the Bills. I want to see Josh Allen there. Like, but
I think it's gonna happen. I think they're going.
I mean, I want it to be that too because I want more points in my bracket, and that's what I picked. I picked the Bills.
I think Josh Allen is the only man that can lose.
I think what's gonna happen is the Ravens will beat the Bills this week,
Yep.
and then the Chiefs will beat the Texans, and
Yep.
then the Ravens will beat the Chiefs.
Nope.
I think that's what's gonna happen. Because I mean, last year the Ravens almost beat the Chiefs, and like we were just saying with the Lions, dude, the Lions were good last year. And then this year they just got better. They're great now. Well, the Ravens were good last year, and now they got Derrick Henry. Now they're fucking great. Like they almost beat the Chiefs last year. Like you had
They almost beat them.
Lamar
1, too.
Jackson
It doesn't
out here
matter.
winning MVP,
It
going out
doesn't-
there
it
to the
doesn't-
second, third round of the playoffs.
It doesn't matter. I listen. I hate it. I hate this. All right. I know how you guys all felt as non-Patriot fans, but he's inevitable. You know what I mean? Like, there's
I love that the one. You're the one that's always like the Chiefs. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them.
Well, there's
And then out
one
of all four
reality.
of us, you're the only one that's ever like the Chiefs are guaranteed to win. Chiefs are gonna win this.
There's one universe out of 70 billion where CJ Stroud gets the win.
Yeah, I hope
And
so.
I think I can tell that this is that one universe.
I have never been a bigger CJ Stroud fan than I am this week coming up. Straight up.
What I would actually want to have happen, I would say I would want the Lions to beat the Commanders, and then the Rams obviously beat the Eagles. The Lions beat the Rams. Go on. The
I'm
Ravens
really
beat the
hoping
Bills. Texans beat the Chiefs, and then Texans beat the Lions in the Super Bowl. That's what I would.
I'm
love to
really
see.
hoping for a Rams Lions NFC Championship. It's gonna be a good fucking game if that happens.
And the thing, if it ends up being Texas Lions Super Bowl, by the way, which it won't be, I'm pretty sure that's what I called at the start of the season of what was going to be the Super Bowl teams was Texans versus Lions. It has a chance. Yeah,
No, that's not
Yeah.
what you called.
yeah, it is.
I think that's the
picked the
same thing I
Cowboys.
put.
I picked the Cowboys going like to the playoffs, but not making it past whatever. And then I picked the Lions going to the Super Bowl, and I picked. I'm pretty sure it was the Texans because the Texans were already looking amazing at the start of the season, and all they did was upgrade their team. I thought they were going to be killing it all season. They didn't. They still made it to the playoffs, and they still have a chance. But yeah, I'm like 99% sure I picked the Texans versus the Lions in the Super Bowl.
I don't know. I wasn't there. But yeah, I mean,
Oh shit, you did.
Damn.
Super Bowl favorites: Houston versus Lions.
Told you.
That's crazy.
On your tier list.
He's either delusional or he's a genius. There's no in between.
Well, he'll be delusional when the Houston gets blown out by KC.
They'll probably lose.
But that's the problem.
But I
That's the
wanna
problem.
see-
Houston's not going to get blown out by
happen.
KC.
That's
the
why it's
problem,
my
they're
pick.
not going to get
That's what
blown
I
out
want
by
to see.
KC. KC's going to win by 1 possession. That's what they do. They win by
No.
1 score.
The KC refs will win by
is-
1 possession.
That's what I mean.
Patrick Mahomes is going to be crying on the sidelines, be like, "Where's my penalty
We're gonna see
flags?
these
Where's my
fucking-
flags?"
critical
Hold me
second
back.
half.
Hold
Be
me
like,
back.
"Ah."
The last 5 minutes of the game, I'm telling you, the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, we're gonna get like the most bullshit, ridiculous calls,
Yeah.
and the Chiefs are gonna win. That's what keeps happening.
This is CJ Stroud. We've never seen him in this moment before against one of the best teams in the league at
Until one of
playoff
these teams,
time.
until one of these teams
There's not big enough
does what
sample
Brady
size.
did to him in the Super Bowl with Tampa and put up double digits on him, he's winning the game.
The defense at this point, as far as last week goes, I think the Texans have the best defense in the league. Kansas is going to have to beat that.
We did see
That's the problem. Is
see
Kansas City has the best
CJ
defense in the
Stroud
league.
though against one of the best teams in the league last year, and that was the Ravens, and they got dog whipped.
He was a rookie quarterback. They didn't have the defense wasn't on lock like they are this year.
I'm just saying we have seen it. You said that
I
we've
know you
never
said
seen it,
the
and
defense
we
wasn't
have
on
seen
lock, but it sounded
Yeah.
like he said the defense wasn't unlocked.
Yeah, they weren't
Like,
unlocked
the
yet,
defense
dude.
wasn't unlocked
They were
yet.
blacked out characters.
Right? So I was like, the defense wasn't unlocked yet for Houston.
Look, the AFC right now is scary, man. Like these playoffs, it's really anyone who's left right now. I hate to say it, Texas is probably the weakest link, and they're really fucking good.
That's crazy to say, too, yeah.
It's in the NFC. It's between the in my opinion right now it's the Rams and the Lions, right? Philly's good, but they're kind of a mess right. They're behind the scenes they're dysfunctional and a mess. AJ
Look,
Brown's reading a fucking book on the sidelines.
the
Which-
Rams
Oh,
are
We're
like
gonna get back
good.
to him in a minute because I think he's gonna be a Patriot. But besides the point,
No way.
The Rams have been good like every third game. So like they exhausted everything they had left versus the Vikings. They're getting dominated in the next game.
I don't think so. They cleared the West on the back end of the season. The West was up in the air because everyone was fucking dog ass for so long. They picked it back up and they cleared out. You know what I mean? They beat the Bills. They're a good team. The Rams are good. They're not. I don't think they're.
They are a
trending
good
upward.
team. They
I don't
had
think
a
they're
lot of
gonna smoke
injuries in
this
the
game.
regular season. Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp, 2 wide receiver ones, and you got Matthew Stafford, vet quarterback who's a gunslinger, and Kyron Williams, elite running back.
Look what he did
bro.
last night.
It's like, dude, how can you sleep on that team? Like, don't get me wrong. I didn't think they were going to go out there and win that game. I thought it was
Yeah.
going to be close. I didn't think they're going to win it, but they do have a good team. They have a solid team.
I don't think they're going to beat Detroit, but they are in the NFC.
They're a
playoffs.
team that could beat anybody, I feel like, on any
Yeah.
week.
Anybody
Week
left?
18, week 18, they lost to Seattle.
They had already won the
week,
division.
Week 17, they won against Arizona
That's how they quit the
13-9. They beat the Jets 19-9, so they barely showed up there. They barely showed up against
Wasn't
San
Puka
Francisco.
Nacua
They
injured for like
barely
most
showed
of those
up against
games?
the 49ers 12-6. I mean,
Cooper
like
Kupp
they
and
have
Puka
been
Nacua
they've
in it
been
for a while.
absolutely anemic ever since the Buffalo Bills game.
But they're winning the game. They're winning the games.
Sure, they're winning the games,
all that
but they've
matters.
been
They got their boys
absolutely
now.
anemic. And that's what I'm saying. So, like, they've been barely showing up off and on. So,
That's why
like,
they're slept on.
they showed up last week.
I
They're
will
not going to
say,
show up again
out of
next week.
everybody
I
that
think
showed
they will.
up, it was
I
actually
think they will.
surprising to see
If-
that
if I was
Kyron
to-
Williams didn't show up.
If I was
16
resubmitting my
rushes,
bracket
76
right now, I'd have them
yards,
in the NFC
disappeared.
Championship.
Like, the only reason why I didn't pick the
Kyron Williams
Rams
is the exception. Kyron Williams shows up like every game. It's Matt Stafford who doesn't show up. Matt
I was gonna
Stafford
say, it
threw
was
for
crazy
over
that Kyron Williams didn't
70%,
show up.
70% completion rate last
Oh,
night,
stop.
and balled out.
Good boy.
But he hasn't shown up since the Bills game in week 16? Like he took the last 3 weeks off before that. That's what I'm saying. They're gonna get dominated in the next game they play.
I don't think so.
I don't think they're going to get dominated. They could lose, but the only reason why I didn't pick the Rams is because they were going against the freaking Vikings. The Vikings, I thought, were going to be one of the best teams in the playoffs. So, I mean, against a lot of other people, it's a hard pick. But the Vikings, with that top defense and Justin Jefferson,
Yeah.
and Darnold popping off, is surprising.
It's
But
kind of crazy too,
a
because
healthy
if you look back at the regular season, the last time the Vikings struggled against a team, it was against LA.
Yeah.
LA has got the Vikings number, and obviously their previous offensive coordinator is now the Vikings head coach.
That's why I picked Minnesota, because lightning doesn't usually strike twice. Look what happened with Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay beat Washington first week of the season. They lost to them this time. That was likely going to happen. I figured the Vikings would have learned from their loss to Detroit and then their previous loss to the Rams.
It's kind of funny how that happens. Sometimes that's a blueprint.
But that's on Sam Darnold, honestly.
Sometimes it's quite the opposite.
It's on Sam Darnold. I mean, Kevin O'Connell, like I said, he's a quarterback whisperer. He's a really good coach, and he's good at reviving these quarterbacks. But Sam Darnold did Sam Darnold things. You don't have any excuse when you're throwing to Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson.
That's what I was gonna say. Can we point that out, man? Like, of all the teams that play in the NFL right now, of all of the wide receiving cores in the entire game,
two of the best wideouts in football.
Boys got Jalen Naylor,
yes.
Jordan Addison, and Justin Jefferson. Like,
and Hawkinson.
Come on, TJ Hawkinson ain't nothing to shy at. That dude's badass. Like, dude,
he's been quiet this year, but he's still Hawkinson.
Badass offensive weapons.
Hey, let's not forget though that Kirk Cousins couldn't do it either. Kirk Cousins had these guys, he couldn't do it either. He
couldn't do it this year.
I'm telling you, there's something that just does not make logical sense about Minnesota. It doesn't matter what they have. They cannot do it when it comes to the playoffs.
Hold on,
haven't since
hold on.
Favre
You said that name wrong. You said Minnesota. I think you meant Cowboys, because that sounds exactly like the Cowboys.
Yeah, like our season last year.
I don't know what's wrong with this.
I'm telling you, it's worse
in the playoffs.
I'm telling you, it's worse with Minnesota, but they just don't have the exposure that Cowboys have.
I really feel like it may be like an underrated take, but I feel like last year's Cowboys was like one of the best Cowboys I've ever seen in my lifetime, dude.
100%, dude.
And then we just lose immediately in the playoffs because the Cowboys.
That's what I was saying at the start of the season, man. I was like, don't get me wrong. I'm going to drink the Kool-Aid. I'm a Cowboys fan. It's going to happen. Start of every season, it's going to happen. But before the season started, yeah, dude, I didn't believe in it, because we had a Super Bowl quality team. Every year, it's always with the Cowboys. Oh, we're Super Bowl. So everybody says. But last year, we actually had a Super Bowl quality
I've never
team.
been that person, but last year I was like, believing it a little bit, just because CD Lamb was having like his best year ever. He was like the number 1 or number 2 wide receiver. Fix my cam. But he was having an insane year, and on top of that, Dak was having an MVP year, and our defense was stepping up.
In NFL,
it was crazy, dude. Like the biggest thing I feel like was the defense. Like our Deron Bland was like breaking records and shit. We had a great defensive coach.
He led the NFL in interceptions.
Brandon Cooks was popping off. Tony Pollard was still there. He wasn't doing the best, but we still had Tony Pollard. And I was like, dude, if
we were averaging together,
and Dak was running the damn ball. He was getting rushing touchdowns and shit like that. So I don't want to get all into that, but that was seriously like a great season just for it to end in the playoffs. That prove your point.
If we want to real fast, while we got on the Cowboys subject, since we're not going to be talking about it this week, we can take this time real fast to talk about the elephant in the room. That I said a while back that Mike McCarthy wasn't going to be our head coach next year.
Oh, I can
because
tell you that.
I said a long time ago. There's
Yeah.
one thing Jerry Jones always does. If Jerry Jones wants to keep somebody, he will not beat around the bush. Dude, we had Jason Garrett's golf clapping ass on the sideline for 10 years. And every year he sucked. And every year, mid-season, people talk about coaching changes and shit like that. And Jerry Jones goes, nope, Jason Garrett's our guy. He is staying. Contract extensions. Jason Garrett. And that's what he does. When he wants to keep somebody, he's going to make it very obvious. With CeeDee Lamb, when they were like, why haven't you signed the contract with CeeDee Lamb yet? What's going on with the CeeDee Lamb? Why is it taking so long? He's like, y'all don't even worry about it. We are signing CeeDee Lamb. There was no ifs, ands, or buts in his voice. That's why we had to pay out, because CeeDee Lamb knew he was going to get his money.
So you think they're getting Coach Prime?
That's what I was going to say. So with
Coach
Mike
Prime
McCarthy,
good?
I knew he was going to be leaving. But I don't think it's going to be Deion Sanders. I think
he wants to play with this boy.
I think there's one option, and this is just a hope and a dream for me, dude. But there's one option that I think a lot of us are forgetting about. Recently, about a year or two ago, Jerry Jones fixed his relationship with somebody. He's had a horrible relationship with somebody who is an extremely important figure in the Dallas world, and he fixed that relationship a year or two ago. Now they are a best friends type relationship. Jimmy Johnson.
No,
Jimmy Johnson, come back. Dude, he's the last coach that won us a fucking Super Bowl.
Can you fucking imagine?
Jimmy Johnson coming back and being our head coach.
That's like the Jets going with Rex Ryan if they go with it.
I'm just saying, dude. Jimmy Johnson a year or two ago he fixed his relationship.
I don't want to give that old man a stroke.
Yeah, but Jimmy Johnson's not trying to get back into coaching. But Rex Ryan
knows. Oh, I'm just saying, but Jimmy Johnson knows how to deal with Jerry Jones, and he knows how to win Super Bowls, and he loves the Cowboys. That's what I said. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I said before I said the name, this is a pipe dream by me. But
it shouldn't even be a pipe dream.
I mean,
it shouldn't even be a pipe dream. He's been so far out of the league for so long.
How fucking old is he?
Yeah, there's no fucking way.
Old. But dude, a lot of
that shouldn't even be something that you want,
man.
That's a publicity stunt.
What was Jimmy Johnson's last year of coaching?
Oh, it was with the Cowboys. This was like 90s.
No, he went to Miami. Went to Miami after that, didn't he?
Dude, what if we got like Mike?
It was the 90s. It was the 90s.
Yeah. What year? Someone look it up for me.
Let's see. He coached into 1999.
Okay, I was born 1998, dog.
There you go.
All right.
Yep.
Bro, you want this guy coach?
Yeah.
Dog, I was shitting in diapers.
Okay, but think about this, man. It's not like Jimmy Johnson, whenever he retired from coaching, he just left the football world. That dude has been an announcer and a sports commentator for his entire life. So he's still, besides already knowing everything that he knows,
Belichick is
stayed in the game.
Example of this. Belichick is the perfect example of this. He is an entirely different person in the broadcast booth than he was as coach. All right.
Well, but Bill Belichick's not really a lively person.
That's not the point. That's not the point. They're totally different jobs. And if you remove, he's been involved in the football world, but it is still a totally different football world than it was 26 years ago now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what I'm saying, but it's not like
coaching is entirely. It doesn't matter how well versed you are in it. Coaching, by and large, 30 years ago compared to today, is not the same.
If you ask me who would I rather have as the head coach for the Cowboys, Jimmy Johnson or Deion Sanders? Jimmy Johnson, 100%. I would rather put my trust in Jimmy Johnson with the fact what he knows and the fact that he's proven himself to be a Super Bowl winning head coach.
Honestly, I don't know why I'm arguing with you guys.
Coming out of college or high school or something like that.
Honestly, I don't know why I'm arguing with you because
it's not going to happen.
Jerry just goes to team.
It's definitely not going to happen. It's a pipe.
That's one less team I have to worry about.
The biggest problem is, and the biggest pipe dream is if Jerry will step down as GM and give somebody else the privilege of making the decisions.
That'll never happen.
And that's really the biggest thing. It doesn't matter who the hell the coach is as much as it matters if Jerry Jones is still going to be GM.
Jerry said, and I can't quote because I don't have it in front of me, but Jerry basically said I bought the team not for my kids, not for an investment, but for me, because this is what I want to do for the rest of my life until I die. And Jerry Jones literally said, I will be the GM of the Dallas Cowboys until I die. So
have y'all seen the shit posts about Elon Musk buying the Cowboys?
That'd be awesome.
Dude.
That'd be awesome.
It's definitely not real, but like I keep seeing it over and over again.
Pay so much money. You realize Jerry Jones paid $150 million for the Cowboys. Now they're making over $1 billion every year. Yeah, they're making them on average. I think it's like $1.6 billion a year just in like actual profit, not in like general revenue, because you got to put that back into it. But actual profit, it's like $1.6 billion.
I'm not saying that Elon Musk doesn't have the money to buy the Cowboys or the Stones to do it. He bought Twitter, for God's sakes. I mean, but the Cowboys aren't for sale.
Right.
That's the problem. The Cowboys will never be for sale as long as Jerry's alive. And then
imagine if Jerry Jones and somebody walked up and said, "Hey, dude, I'll give you $100 billion for the Cowboys."
He would probably say no because he's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, no. I mean, what the hell does he need $100 billion
about the money
for?
Doesn't he do all this stuff?
With $100 billion, he could buy another football team.
He has
that $50 million.
He has
make that bad football team.
Exactly.
Jerry Jones currently has money for him, the rest of his life, and multiple generations.
His actual
Jerry Jones isn't doing. He's not doing anything
his
motivated by money.
Right now is like $16 billion. He's one of the richest people in the world, man. He's worth like, I think it was like last time I looked, it was like a week or two ago. I was looking up random shit about the Cowboys. Yeah, he's worth like $16.9 billion right now.
Yeah, nothing Jerry is doing like on a scale like that is motivated by money.
No, it's all vanity. Like
that's why we're fucked.
These billionaires have big egos, and Jerry Jones is probably the biggest one.
Yeah,
that's why we got Mozzie Smith 2 years ago, and then we got Tyler Guyton. Like that's why we keep drafting like this, because Jerry Jones said, "This is my team, and I know what I'm doing." We're
now, to be fair,
linemen.
Jerry, the GM, draft wise, has actually done very well in the last several years. But
he's gotten Zach Martin and Tyler Smith were good. We've gotten a couple of them, but I mean, a lot of our first round picks haven't been killer. Zeke was good. Zeke was what, first round, like 4th overall or some shit like that. Like
how many years ago?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look, the Cowboys have done fairly well over the last several years.
But not good with the trade decisions and
now
shit
free
like
agency.
That. Like
if you want to knock,
if
you want to knock their free agency moves, you want to knock some of their contract negotiations. Obviously, waiting to the last minute to re-sign Dak and CeeDee Lamb. Terrible decisions. There's been some bad.
I will.
But draft wise, they've done a lot better.
Draft wise, at least in the first round, it's better than I thought. We've had some major flops. But draft-wise, our first-round picks, starting with Tyrone Smith. Actually, I guess Dez Bryant back in 2000. We got Dez Bryant, Tyrone Smith, Morris Claiborne, fail. Travis Frederick, great. Zach Martin, great. But if you look at that, it's offensive lineman, offensive lineman. Like, and then you got what was that? Byron Jones.
That's
nobody.
That draft strategy is the BFGA strategy. It's the biggest fucking guy available strategy.
Exactly.
All right, and that's what we're hoping the Patriots do this year, but time will tell.
The next only good one since
if you find a lineman in the first round, they're usually a hit.
Y'all remember Will Fork, bro? That big ass, bro.
Big old huge. That's like what was that dude out of Nebraska that stomped on that dude's face? They got penalized.
Well,
we did have a couple of CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons, both first round picks. Those are
massive.
Ezekiel Elliott, CeeDee Lambs, and Micah Parsons. Those are our only actual good first round picks since 2016.
Yeah.
All the rest of them aren't very good.
Speaking of good drafted defensive players, the Patriots have a new coach. And I would venture to say the Patriots are back, baby. Mike fucking Vrabel is in the building.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a big news this week.
Drake May has a coach. He finally has a coach. And I'm not saying Super Bowl next year, but it's going to be a totally different Patriots.
Now,
I know
let's back
that-
up for a second because Patriots, I saw some heat coming the Patriots' way for firing old boy like immediately right after the season. You obviously agree with this decision, but
No,
I mean,
I
he was
actually
only in
disagree
there
with the
1
decision.
year.
They should have fired him out of the bye.
Should have
That's
been
what I
sooner.
disagree with.
Should have been
Look,
sooner.
I like Gerard Mayo as a person. He's not a good football coach. He was an excellent player. He was defensive rookie of the year when he was drafted. He was a all-pro, defensive player. It didn't translate to coaching. He's not a good coach. He's not a leader of men. That's just what it is. Mike Vrabel comes in the building. He has a lot of traits from Bill Belichick, but he went out and blazed his own trail. He's been a head coach in the league for 6 or 7 years with the Titans. It's no secret that he's a Belichick guy, but he's going to kind of bring back that. He's going to bring the Patriot way back in the ways Gerard Mayo couldn't, because both of them had the same background. They're both players. They both played and coached for Bill, and the difference is Mike Vrabel actually knows how to do it, and he can command a room. He can lead a team. He's going to clean up the mess that Gerard Mayo left. Again, Gerard Mayo is a nice guy, and he's a great guy. He has no complaints there, but he was not a good coach.
Guy.
They should have fired him when he let Arizona put 30 points up. Right out of the bye.
Right.
And the Patriots would have first overall pick right now.
That's huge.
I know. Fucking disaster. That was more so the Bills losing on purpose than it was the Patriots winning by accident.
I kind of would like to see Tomlin as a head coach. And I know a lot of people have been saying, like, well, he always gets the Steelers to the playoffs and then they lose first round just like the Cowboys. But they do that with, like, the most shitty situations ever, and they still barely clutch it out. I feel like he's a good leader. I feel like he's a good coach. I would like to see him as a coach.
Is one of the best coaches in football.
Yeah, I agree, dude. I think Mike Tomlin would be an amazing fit. Like in a realistic sense.
So you guys are talking about the whole coach swap thing that was in the news with McCarthy and Tomlin.
Yeah, I would be very surprised if they move on from Tomlin.
No, I mean that's not gonna happen.
I think the most realistic option for the Cowboys is something I don't understand why anybody said it. Is something Jerry Jones actually hinted at in one of his interviews earlier in the season, that if there was going to be another head coach, it would be someone like Jason Witten. I can see Jason Witten come in here and be head coach. Like, let's see that happen, man.
Has he coached before?
He led
a high school coach right now.
He led his high school football team to a national championship this year or last year or something like that.
I mean, it'd be interesting. It definitely would have good chemistry with the fans.
He's another dude that fucking loves the Cowboys, like Deion Sanders.
Yeah,
it would be like seeing Deion Sanders come in and coach.
You would have a good relationship with Dak and all those guys too, because they already love him off the gate.
There's a lot of Dan Campbell comparisons there too. They are two guys that are cut from the same cloth.
Yeah. And I like Jason Witten because Jason Witten, one of my favorite stories to anybody that never knew the type of player Jason Witten was, because he was an older Cowboy. One of the first times Jason Witten ever really messed up, where there was a ball that hit him right in the hands, and he dropped the ball, it got intercepted, and I think we ended up losing the game. Jerry Jones in a press conference was talking about it. He said apparently Jason Witten after the game went to Jerry Jones personally and apologized to him and said how bad he felt for dropping that pass, that it would never happen again. Like, when a player feels the need to apologize like that for a drop and a pass after the game, dude, that's a stand-up guy. Right,
accountability.
Like, he gives a lot. He gives literally 110% on the field every game. Or the time when he got hit so hard his helmet flew off, and he said that he remembered catching the ball and then remembered standing there looking around and not knowing which direction to go. So he picked an end zone and ran. And he almost scored a touchdown. He was like bloody nose running down the field with no helmet and almost scored a touchdown. And said he took a hit so hard he blacked out for like a second or two. He's like, so I remember going for the ball and then remember standing there holding the ball, looking at end zones, not knowing which direction. And he just happened to pick the right direction, just ran. Dude played the rest of the game. Like, he put his all on that field, every single play. And that's something, I wouldn't mind seeing that.
All right, so I know we said we thought this was probably going to be a short show, and we're at an hour and 15 minutes right now. We haven't even talked about next week yet. So let's do it. You ready? We got
You
Houston.
said we could ramble.
Houston versus the Chiefs is the first game on next week's slate.
Houston wins. Easy.
Houston
Next
wins.
Yeah, we know what Janu wants.
Might actually pick
So
it.
what's gonna happen?
For the record, that's what I want too, but it's not.
I might actually, like, I know we've already made our picks, but like I would actually, if we were doing this shit again, I might actually pick them right now to beat the Chiefs.
Well, I'm sticking with the Chiefs. They've had 2 weeks to plan, recover, get their ducks in a row. I don't know how, not only Mahomes, but I don't know how you bet against Andy Reid at this point. Like, I know a lot of people, the focus is on Mahomes and how great he is.
It's
But
fucking
look,
freakish voodoo magic.
Look, Andy Reid has been one of the best NFL coaches over the last decade. He is, I mean, look, with 2 weeks of planning going into a game and against a, no offense to the Texans, an inferior opponent, how do you bet against them?
Easy. You put $50 into underdog fantasy. Take CJ Stroud over on passing yards. Nico Collins over on receiving yards.
I'm not gonna lie. I would
extra
take Patrick
points.
Mahomes over on an interception right now. I think Patrick Mahomes will throw an interception this game easily.
I think the biggest problem is the Texans are going to contain Patrick Mahomes on the run better than most defenses are, and that's a big problem because Patrick Mahomes always, it's 3rd and 15, and all of a sudden no defender can tackle Patrick Mahomes. He's like, he just gets past everybody. I think they're going to stop that shit, and if all they got to do really is just, contain tight end, and obviously they've done a good job of that. So I don't know, man. I'm just going to say I feel like the Texans are going to win that by at least over a touchdown.
I tell you, there's 2 games that I'm looking forward to, and they're both AFC. It's definitely, I can't wait to see how that game goes. I'm surprised that game is a Saturday game. I can't believe that they didn't put that game on Sunday.
Prime time. It's the Chiefs.
Well, they probably figured they can glaze Patrick Mahomes enough on Saturday. They don't need to put him prime time. They can make prime time money on an off prime game.
It's not even the 7:00 game. It's 3:30 on a Saturday.
I'm saying they could put that at 2 a.m. on a Tuesday night.
Dude, the Texans always play on Saturday. They always play Saturday afternoon, bro. It's like every week.
But that's the Texans. I mean, we're talking about the 2-time Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs.
It's
like,
all about money, dude.
How is that not massive disrespect, bro? And you don't think they're going to take that personally?
Because the NFL scripted them to lose, obviously.
I guess we'll see. See.
Until the Chiefs are out of the playoffs, until the Chiefs are eliminated, they're winning the Super Bowl. That's what it comes down to. The sooner you all accept it, the easier it will be when it happens.
So can I count on your support, Ray, for the Kansas City Chiefs this week?
No. Well, they're going to win, but that doesn't mean I'm supporting them.
All right. We'll move on. I digress.
I wish he would have been one of the people on Secret Santa. I would have sent him a Kansas City flag or something.
We got
hang up in the background.
The late game on Saturday is the 12-5 Washington Commanders versus the 15-2 Detroit Lions. Are we giving Washington a chance?
I want
Against
to,
any
but
other team, I would, but against the Lions, no.
no.
Anyone that goes against the Lions, I'm picking Lions to win.
I'm sorry,
I think
but
it'll
like
be a closer
58
game,
to
but yeah,
13 is not out of the question here.
I think what
It's
it's
just
gonna.
about
I
how
think it'll
much,
be
yeah.
more like 40-33 or something like that. I think it'll be closer like that,
I
but
don't
I
think
think
they're
they're
putting
definitely
up
gonna win.
43 on the Lions.
Is that the high scoring game of the week?
Usually, it
I think
usually
so.
is.
I
Has
think
been
so.
all season.
Either
Yeah, right.
no, actually no. I'm sorry, that's not true. I think the high scoring game of the week is gonna be the Ravens Bills. I think the Ravens Bills is gonna be a fucking shootout.
I think it'll be a shootout, but not a high scoring game.
I think the Ravens Bills has a.
I'm thinking like
possibility to be
21,
like
24 to 21. Like
if I had to just off the top of my head take a guess, I would say probably like 38 to like 35. I think it's gonna be a close game. I think it'll come down to Josh Allen losing it for him. Ravens will score, take the lead. Josh Allen will have a chance to go down the field and win, and he'll throw an interception.
it's going to
or
be whoever has the
something
ball
fuck
last
up.
of the game. I
and
agree
that-
there, but I don't think either team's putting 30 points on each other.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I think it might. We'll see.
I'm thinking like 20, 24, 21. Like something along those lines.
Sorry, we switched gears to the Ravens Bills. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, you said the high scoring game was going to be the Lions game. That's why I was like, nah, I think the high scoring game this week is going to be the Ravens Bills.
So are we going with the? But everybody's going with the Lions. Like we're unanimous.
Yeah, 100% Lions.
Yes.
I would love to
right.
pick Washington. I think it's going to be a close game. I'd love to pick them, but no, it's going to be the Lions winning.
And then Sunday, Rams Eagles.
Rams.
I like that pick.
Rams.
I like that pick. I didn't expect the Rams to be here, and I still think that they are. I think the only way they win this game is their defense somehow stops Saquon and Hurts together, which Hurts shouldn't be a problem. They just gotta stuff Saquon too.
Yeah, they just gotta stuff him,
and then they'll be good. But I think this is going to be a super low scoring, super defensive, boring ass game where it's going to be like 17-13, and I'd love to say 17-13 Rams. That'd be great.
I think it's going to end up being a game where he didn't show up this last week for the Rams, and he shows up every week. And I think against the Eagles, with how Saquon plays, I think it's going to be a game where if Kyren Williams doesn't show up, the Rams lose. And if Kyren Williams shows up and plays like himself, I think they'll win.
No reason to think that he won't.
I was saying, all season he has. But then, I mean, first playoff game, 16 carries, 76 yards, no touchdowns, like running. He had his one little tiny little dinker touchdown catch that he got, but as far as a rushing game, well, I mean, obviously not, but I'm just saying, like, he didn't show up, and against a team like the Eagles, if he goes out there and has 16 rushes for 76 yards, yeah, I don't think they'll win. I think Kyren Williams needs to show up if they want any chance to win against the Eagles.
Yeah, I like the Rams in this game.
I think he will show up, but yeah, actually, yeah, because I mean, I think the Rams will win.
Yeah, I'm taking the Rams too. Just Hurts has been off in the passing all season long. If they can contain the run, I feel like it's wraps after that. Not that they can't pass, not that he can't go over 200 yards, but they're going to have to rely on that over having the most like juiced up running back in the league, just dominating. Just hard to contain. But the Rams, like I say, they can beat anyone any week, and they can put up a lot of points really fast. They could be down the whole game, and then Puka with a 76-yard touchdown, and then
Cooper
they're right
Kupp.
back in the game, and then Kyren starts popping off. He gets a touchdown. You know,
let's talk about the Rams defense. What did they have, like 8 sacks
Nine, I
against the
think, right?
Vikings? Was it
Yeah.
9? Like,
And
My
I may be
God.
wrong about this, but because I didn't look it up because I didn't care about the game as much when it turned into such a blowout. But I could have swore I heard one of them saying that it was a record for sacks in a playoff game.
I mean, at 9, it could have been. Damn. Look, they're not going to do that to the Eagles. They're not going to do that to the Eagles. I as much as I hate the Eagles,
Yeah, it was.
you know, and would love to talk shit about them. Minnesota, they're
That was the
They're-
tie. It said J.J. Watt, apparently 2011, the fourth rookie NFL, blah, 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 this, and they talk about that. And it said he highlighted apparently that the Rams defense was the second team in NFL history, so they tied the second team in NFL history to collect 9 sacks in a playoff game.
Yeah, the Eagles are more dynamic than the Vikings. So, like I said, they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that again. But that does lend something to how dangerous they can be on defense. So, like, that's a statement. This game's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be low scoring. I think it's going to be one of those in the trenches games that Kyron Williams, the up and comer, versus Saquon Barkley, the kind of the Renaissance running back getting out into a new team. Like, this is going to be an interesting one, man, for sure. And I think it's going to be all in the trenches, low scoring, and God, I don't even know who I want the Rams to come out on top, but I don't think they will. I think the Eagles are going to squeak by. I think the Eagles are going to squeak by for sure.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a turning point game for the Eagles. They're going to lose because of dysfunction on the sideline, and then the locker room, and then you're going to see big overhaul, big changes. Like I said earlier in the
for all
episode,
that to happen.
I know. Like I said earlier in the episode, I think AJ Brown is going to be a Patriot pretty soon. He's clearly unhappy in Philadelphia, and Vrabel is a wicked AJ Brown guy. I think he trades for him. I think it's going to be a big slam dunk move in the offseason.
Why would he go to a team that's not a contender after being at the Eagles?
Because he has Drake May. He'll be the by and large wideout one in that.
Tyreek Hill wanting to ditch the Dolphins. That's nuts, dude.
Yeah, imagine if the Patriots trade for AJ Brown and sign T. Higgins.
Yeah, if the money's right, but I feel like AJ Brown's so good he could go anywhere. He could be on most
but again,
teams.
he likes Vrabel. Drake May needs a wideout one. It's a good fit. And if he gets traded, he doesn't have a choice.
True.
I don't think it would be bad. I think that would be fire to have him on the Patriots. I just feel like it's big copium. Like, it's AJ Brown, bro. That's big. That would be huge.
I'm just saying. Nothing else has seemed to work. Might as well give it a shot.
So do you think the Patriots are going to draft early for a wide receiver this year, or what do you think?
I fucking hope they don't, because they can't get Travis Hunter. They're gonna have to trade back up unless a bunch of quarterbacks shoot up the draft board. Travis Hunter's gonna go 2 or 3, depends on who drafts where. And unfortunately, the Patriots are 4 because Gerard Mayo.
In the draft orders, Tennessee, Cleveland, Giants. I feel like those 3 are for sure taking a quarterback right off rip. Then New England, Jacksonville, and Vegas. Vegas is definitely taking one. The Jets probably going to take one, right? Okay, Carolina, I'm not sure.
So here's the thing with that, though, is it like last draft, obviously there's a ton of quarterbacks, right? And all these quarterbacks were sitting high. There are other teams that have other needs, like the Patriots, for example, don't need a quarterback, right? They still have a top 5 draft pick. So there are other teams that, 1, want a quarterback. 2, if the quarterback is mocking at like 11 or 12, there's no reason for and a team really wants them. So if you have 2 let's just use 3 quarterbacks in the first round, right? Let's just nice round number. So first overall, second overall, and then somewhere down the mix, maybe top 10, maybe top 15, right?
To put in
So-
perspective, Bo Nix was the 6th quarterback taken in the first round.
Right. So if you're that third team, that if you're Cleveland or the Giants, right? Giants are third.
Yeah, it's Tennessee, Cleveland, Giants.
So let's use Cleveland, for example. All right, let's just say they don't want either of those two guys. They like somebody lower in the round. They don't need to sit there. They can trade out, right? So they'll trade down to 8, 9, or 10 to take that quarterback wherever he lands, instead of taking him third. So somebody else shoots up and gets Travis Hunter or whoever. So that's unfortunate.
Patriots could grab Travis Hunter.
If
would
he
be
drops
wild.
to 4, I will not complain. I want
I
Travis
think he
Hunter.
could.
He's
I
really fucking
seriously
good.
think he could.
He's really fucking good. And even if he plays both sides of the ball, good, awesome. But even if he doesn't, if he picks one side or the other, he's so good at both as he does now. If he focuses all his time, energy, and resources on one position, he'll be possibly one of the best ever in whatever position he.
You don't think Tennessee, Cleveland, and Giants all won't take a quarterback? I feel like that's guaranteed. I
The
think
Giants
that
are definitely taking
no, I understand they're all taking a quarterback, but if the quarterback isn't, if one of them wants a quarterback that isn't mocking in the top 3 picks, right? Like I said, if they're picking if they want someone who's mocking like 8, 9, or 10, they're going to trade out of that spot, and they'll get their guy further down. Even if they trade from third to 6th, for example, for an extra pick, that's a big difference, especially for a team that needs a quarterback or a team that wants to move up and get somebody like Travis. So
my thing is just like,
fortunately, I think the Patriots, I think they're going to miss on Travis Hunter, which, as sad as that is, I think they'll get a really good opportunity with one of these. They need a left tackle. That's what it comes down to. And they need to use the BFGA method, the biggest fucking guy available, and get whoever's available. But
I feel like, because with the way that it's positioned with the drafts and everything like that, if the Giants were higher and Cleveland was a little bit lower, maybe, but like Tennessee and Cleveland being first up for picks, and you have Shader Sanders and Cam Ward, once you get down to the Giants, there's no way they let the Giants not take a quarterback early, right? Like, there's no way that they don't take one. Like, if it were switched and then it was like Giants second, Cleveland third, maybe. I don't know, dude.
So, I don't think you get what I'm saying, though. It's not like last year's draft where there were so many quarterbacks, right? There aren't really. There's only a couple really big names right now. There's only 2 or 3. I don't think Quinn Ewers is shooting up to third overall. You know what I mean? So if you're the Giants in this third spot, there are other there are other players that are positioned higher in the mock, at least mocking right now. They're mocking higher than some of these quarterbacks, right? So there's still first round quarterbacks available, but they may not be third overall first round quarterbacks. So if you're the Giants and the guy you want is mocking at 10, you have the third overall pick. What's stopping you from trading back to? Are they gonna reach and take the guy that's mocking 10th, take him third, and just eat the picks? No, they're gonna trade.
No.
Yeah.
At least do a pick swap. You know
I
what
think
mean?
I think the only time they wouldn't do that is if there was a team that looked like they were going to be hunting a quarterback also. That was they wouldn't say swap from 3rd pick to 10th pick if whoever's in 5th pick is going to be hunting a quarterback also, because then they could potentially lose the quarterback. But that's
Right.
the only time I think they would.
I'm just using those numbers as examples.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I think that's the one time they would
But
swap out.
this is the point I'm trying to make. The Patriots are 4th right now, right? They're the fourth overall pick. They don't need a quarterback. So if there's 3 guys ahead of them that need quarterbacks, but there's not a third quarterback mocking, and the Giants trade back for somebody else to get Travis Hunter, that doesn't help. You know what I mean? Now, like I said, last season before the draft, a bunch of quarterbacks shot up the draft board. So that could happen. That could happen this year. We could end up with 2 or 3 more, with 1 or 2 more getting up into the top picks. You know what I mean? It doesn't usually happen, but all I need as a Patriots fan, all the Patriots need is for one more quarterback they'll shoot up the draft board to third overall. Right now, based on the mocks, I don't think it's going to happen. I think there's a bunch of position players ahead of the next few quarterbacks, but that always changes. So there's really no way of knowing it. This is all speculation anyway. There's no way of knowing until it actually happens. But with the amount of teams looking for quarterbacks, it's possible that a bunch of guys get drafted higher than they should be. But that still doesn't help the fact that the Patriots are fourth and Travis Hunter is mocking in basically every draft to go third or higher.
Yeah, the one I'm looking at is number 2.
I tell you what we do know is there's still one more game that we haven't thoroughly discussed, and that's the Ravens versus Bills, and that will be the game of the week this week, I think. So let's quickly dissect that and let's get out of here.
So I think the Ravens are going to win it. I think the Ravens are going to, like I said, I think it's going to be a shootout where the Ravens are going to go out there and they're going to run the ball a whole bunch on the first drive. They're going to eat up all kinds of clock, and then they're going to score a touchdown. The Bills will go out there in a minute 45, score a touchdown, and then force Lamar and the offense to go right back out onto the field. They're going to try to eat up some clock, and it's just not going to work. I think that the Bills are going to be scoring too quickly and too often, and the Ravens aren't going to be able to just blow out the Bills. Like I said, they're still going to win, but I think it's going to be a end of the game. Josh Allen has a chance to come back and win the game, and he's gonna crumble. The boy king himself. I'm calling that. I think it'll be on Josh Allen's shoulders, and he'll fall. I think it'll be fourth quarter. The Ravens will be up by 3, and the Bills will get the ball back. And on the way down the field to score, he'll either throw an interception, or he'll fumble, or mismanage the clock, or something will happen. And I think Josh Allen will lose the game. So I think will happen.
Can I just say it's honestly a travesty that this such an amazing matchup is happening in the divisional round. This should be the conference final.
Yeah.
These two teams are so good this year. This is the MVP contest, right?
Yeah.
It's a shame that this is the divisional round game. I don't even know. I obviously I had the Bills in there, and I said it earlier. I really seeing Baltimore take on the Steelers the way they did, and just with ease. I don't know if I'm not confident that the Bills can win this game. I as much as I believe in the Bills this year, this isn't the matchup I thought we would have,
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm not confident that they can win this game. It's God, I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah, that's gonna be a great game to watch.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good game. I think it's gonna be a shootout. I think it's whoever has the ball last wins the game, but it's definitely gonna be something. I'm excited for this game.
Definitely exciting to watch the playoffs, dude. It's the best time of the year to watch football.
Easy. All right, boys, let's get out of here. Anybody got a final point? We're out of money on the prime time parlay, so if anybody at home is wondering why we haven't talked about it, but
yeah,
you can send donations to PayPal at Digital Navy.
You can sign up for Underdog, and I'll get $50 when you deposit money, and that's how you can donate to me.
Use code Janu.
So I guess if I just have a super quick extra point, my extra point would be Dallas Cowboys 2025. Here we come with a Super Bowl under Jimmy Johnson.
Get the fuck out of here.
My extra point is Texans by 150 points. Not even close.
Texans taking that cheap booty.
My extra point is I leave for a travel assignment next week. So this is likely my last stream here in the studio. because I'm probably not renewing my lease at this apartment. It's been a lot of fun, and we'll be doing remote sessions starting next week.
All right. Well, look, football's over for me. The Cowboys are done a long time ago. So go Stars. That's my extra point. Look, I'm looking forward to the playoff games this weekend, though. It's going to be great. So we'll see you guys next week. At least most of us will. Maybe Ray won't. I don't know. We'll see. But I think it's awkward wave time. Let's get out of here, boys. I'm ready to go to bed.